Evet, devam ediyoruz. Şimdi o mektup yazan kişiyi arıyorduk. Ve sıra kişiye geldi. Bakalım.
Oh, you found me. I was just about to come talk to you anyway.
You were eavesdropping on our conversation. Please explain your behavior.
Sorry about that, but I had a good reason for doing it. I can help you with the person you're looking for. You want to help him fulfill the wish he submitted with a pseudonym, but you don't know his real identity. Please don't take this the wrong way. My name is Jolie. Xiaosheng's my friend, and I know who he really is. And as a matter of fact, you've already met him.
Tanıştın yani.
No, it's Shafan.
Deminki adammış.
He probably realized who you were as well. Explains why he made up an excuse and left in a hurry. Still running away from his problems by the looks of it. I was just as surprised as you were when I first found out that Xiao Sheng was actually Shifan. The two of us grew up together, went to school together, and entered the academy together. He's always been the center of attention, easygoing, always fitting in effortlessly. But at some point in time, he started writing these negative posts on the forums. It didn't take me long to figure out Xiao Sheng was him. I know his writing style too well. Every time I asked him, he'd always wriggle his way out of it. And he started distancing himself from me, and even transferred himself to another project team. Oh, that's from an accident during an experiment involving echoes a while back. It wasn't too bad, but it did leave a few symptoms. I haven't been able to operate any precision instruments since then. At first, I thought that maybe Shifan started distancing himself from me because I couldn't continue to work on his project anymore. But deep down, I knew he was not that kind of person. So I have a request.
Nedir o?
I want to know what kind of wish he made, and if possible, I want to help make it come true. I want to know what happened to him.
The integrity of Jolie's information is estimated to be at around 99%. In order to fulfill the wish, providing relevant information is recommended.
Yani dileklerinin gerçekleşmesi için yardımcı olmak istiyorum falan dedi. Robot da söyledi dedi. Peki. Olayları anlatıyoruz.
So that's how it is. Is he blaming himself for my injury? But that's not true. I've never felt that way. He wrote that wish, but he's still the man he was before. He still smiles and comforts others and helps people whenever they're in a difficult spot, which makes me feel even more worried for him. Thank you for telling me all this. I'm afraid Shifan and I aren't on talking terms at the moment, but maybe he'll listen to you. He's been fascinated by echoes ever since he was a child. Echo-related research was all he'd been working on before he left our project. He loves echoes so much, and now he's given up on it completely. I think this might be a good place to start to have him open up to you. Please, if you find out what his wish is, be sure to let me know.
Hi there. How are things on your end?
Transferring progress log. Transfer complete.
Fantastic. It appears everything has been going smoothly. Long story short, I've managed to decipher the code from earlier. It's echoes. The code mentions 3 echo sample datasets Shifan once needed for his research. According to the Academy's archives, his research partner, Jolie, had an accident while searching for these echoes. Shifan shut down the project shortly after. I hope this data can be of help to you. Once I've wrapped up here at the Academy, I'll meet you as soon as I can.
Well then, It's time to look for some echoes.
Bu çok iyi olmuş.
Leave it to me.
Beep, beep. All target echoes acquired. Task complete. Well done. I knew you could do it. Transmission is normal? Yes, that's everything.
Belli.
It's one of Shanli's features. I can join you on your travels this way. I'll remotely control Xiangli, ensuring our audio, visual, and movement modules are in sync to keep our communications seamless. It's our quickest way to connect. Plus, I suspect Shifan might find it difficult to open up in front of a colleague from the academy.
Ya bu birinciyi demek istiyorum ama kafasına vurursam ne yapacak onu çok merak ediyorum. Normalde birinciyi demek istiyorum. Vuracağım kafasına.
Oh. Not necessarily. No. So, without further ado,
Rolcu ya.
let's be on our way.
Şanlı ya o şey yaptı. Robotun sistemine geçiş yaptığı için onunla konuştuk. Tam da diyecektim ben. Sesi değişti bunun diye.
You're back again. No luck finding Xiaoshang? What do you mean? This is echo testing data. What are you planning on doing with... Wait, where did you get this data?
Shangli and the rover are researching echoes but have hit a dead end. They heard that Mr. Shifan is an expert in this particular field and are seeking his help.
That was a long time ago. Oh, very well. What do you want to know? The data you gave me is packed with motion values. I would start by understanding how the echo adapts to different geographies. And these numbers, if we cross-reference them with standard values, the fitting coefficient nearly hits 1. It looks like your model's direction might be on track. Oh, the more I look at this data, the more I think, had it reached me earlier, things might have been different. This data, how much do you want for it? I'll pay anything. No, even with this, I can't do it on my own. What do you mean?
You have always had regrets, both for your friend and for your echo research.
I don't get your meaning. There was a serious accident during the experiment, and I was the one who shut it down. How could I...
We saw the wish you made at the Moontree Lodge, but it seems that may not be what you truly wish for. Your true wish is to continue your research of echoes with the one and only friend who understands your passion. Is this correct?
I never thought my wish would actually be heard. You're right. I am Xiaosheng. The loser who spends his nights complaining in bed. A washed-up expert. I worked hard to get myself into the academy. My best friend was a real genius, and I was just an ordinary person who had to work my ass off in order to catch up with him. We promised to push the boundaries in echo research. I always believed we could produce groundbreaking results. maybe even touch the essence of the lament through our research. But due to my carelessness, he lost his chance to walk through that door completely. Yet, my stubbornness in continuing the experiment without adequate samples led to irreversible harm to my friend. I chose to continue the testing. That's why he missed the window for treatment. Not once did I visit him during the final test periods, and I was the only one left on the project. It wasn't a surprise the experiment failed in the end. It wasn't until I sat alone in the empty lab that I realized maybe everything I sacrificed, even my friend's future, was all for nothing. I had hurt my friend, given up on a career, and worked on something I wasn't actually interested in. But when I lie in bed awake at night, I feel regret all over again. I know I can't give up echo research. My obsession torments me, but I don't deserve to pursue it anymore.
Oh, obsession.
I've heard enough! Pull yourself together already!
Jolie, where did you...
I'll tell you right now, I never blamed you for what happened. I felt the same as you right from the start. On our path of pursuing new discoveries, I was willing to pay any price. What I don't accept is you calling quits halfway.
But...
I'm not done yet.
Okay.
It blows my mind that this is why you stopped talking to me. While I'm at it, you haven't changed a bit since we were kids. You get in the habit of running away from any problems you face that are non-research related.
I'm sorry.
It is wonderful to have someone to support you on the journey to achieve greatness in research. It seems even without our help, this wish has been fulfilled. This in turn indicates that Xiaosheng's wish is not the source of the abnormal codes.
Evet.
I grow ever more confident with you around. Now, we should make our way back to the Moon Tree Lodge.
Ağaca geri dönüyoruz.
Hello. I hope you've been well. Remember how I mentioned that the stall vendors at the Moonlit Fair will adjust their offerings based on everyone's wishes? Based on the wishes we've received so far, I've thought of a few excellent themes. Maybe we can start preparing for them.
Şimdi ekrana ben olanları yazmışımdır. Ya da aralarda mı yazdım artık bilmiyorum. Ama biraz uzundu. Aslında bunları pek yanına gelmek istemem ama gitmişler mi? Gitmişler. Ama biraz farklıydı yani, bir yumruk geldi robota vurdu sandım, hatta öyle bir açıkla vermişler ki. Konuşabiliyoruz mu bunlarla? Galiba NPC olarak konmuş. Evet aynı şey. Geç geç. Ha. Bu neymiş? Yazıları okumuyorum burada. Bunları mı yapıyoruz artık, ne? Galiba bir şey mi yapmam lazımdı ki? Şurada geldik galiba. Evet, buraya gelmiş. Bunlar görevlerimiz, bunlar değişim yeri. Bunlarla takas yapabiliyoruz. Anladım. Ha, bunları yaptıkça buradaki alttaki bar doluyormuş. Bu bizim ikinci dileğimiz. Yani bunun oğlu vefat etmiş. Hani o yokken ev falan çok sessiz, sakin. Eski zamanları özlüyorum, o yanımdayken ki zamanları falan. Ya acaba onun yanında mı olmalıydım falan diyor. Ama ona sözüm de vardı. Uzun süre yaşayacağım ve kendime dikkat edeceğime dair dedi diyor. Çok yaşlandım. Ne deneyeceğim artık bilmiyorum. Ne yapman gerekiyor? Bana yardımcı ol. Montreal. Bu da büyük ihtimalle bir teyze ya da amcadır.
Wish. Choose.
This wish does bear some similarities to the one written by Shifan.
Ama çok da depresif değil diğeri kadar.
This shows that, just like Shifan, the woman who wrote this wish is desperate for help. We need to consider this carefully. Indeed, the wish shows a struggle between her longing and a promise she made to her son. She speaks of another world, likely hinting we can't draw a conclusion solely based on words alone. I'm curious as to what drove her to write these words. Ing and her son. What's their story? What promise did they share? What is it? Is there something on your mind?
No, nothing. It's just that... Is it really for us to take on a wish tied to life and death? She knows the pain of separation from a loved one better than anyone else. If we handle this wrong, it might...
So that's what you're worried about. It seems what Bai just said about you is true. You do have a gentle soul. Ever thought about becoming the mysterious wish granter of Moontree Lodge yourself? You're right to be concerned, but the Moontree Lodge's very existence is to have every wish be heard. Ignoring people's pain isn't right. Besides, we're not trying to force Mrs. Hurting to make a choice. Our role is to listen, understand, and reflect. Ultimately, the choice lies in Mrs. Hurting's hands, but it's getting late. Let me know when you're ready for our next task.
Hazırım ya. Bir an şunu tekerlekli sandalyede sandım.
Excuse me? You must be Mrs. Hurting? Happy Moon Chasing Festival.
Oh, hello. Happy Moon Chasing Festival. Who might you be?
My name is xiangli Yao, and this is the Rover. I apologize for the unannounced visit, ma'am.
Rover. Rover? Why does that sound so familiar? Oh, I remember now. You're the hero of Jinzhou, aren't you? Defeated that terrible beast. Everyone's been talking about it. My thanks to you. You've realized my son's vision. Oh, how joyful he'd be, seeing Jinzhou now. Since he was little, my boy dreamed of shielding me and all of Jinzhou. He'd always say, "I'll conquer the Threnodian one day, so everyone can live peacefully." That's what drove him to join the Midnight Rangers. Huh, yes. I always had faith that my son would achieve his dreams. He never stopped striving. Once, he and some rangers stayed behind during a mission to give folks like me a chance to flee. I know he did it to chase his dreams, but now he's gone. And he'll never witness the defeat of the Threnodians. I just... We used to celebrate every moon-chasing festival at the stalls. and he'd make wishes at the Moon Tree Lodge. His mischief sometimes tried my patience. But now, the silence is overwhelming. I can't help but wonder if he's lonely wherever he is. Oh, perhaps I should join him. But before he left, he made me promise to be witness to the day the Threnodians are finally gone. What am I to do? Oh dear, I've rambled on about my boy again. What brings you here today, dear?
Do you remember the wish you made at the Moon Tree Lodge, Mrs. Hurting?
Well, of course, I do. Everyone knows the Moon Tree Lodge has magical powers. I see. You must have been sent here to help me fulfill my wish. You granted his wish beautifully. I trust you might do the same for mine. Though, really, I have nothing much left to ask for. As I've mentioned in my wish, I find myself at a crossroads, unable to decide. I hope the Moon Tree Lodge can clear my doubts.
When deciding your answer... Oh, yes. I recall they say it's best to speak the answer in front of the Moon Tree Lodge.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Mrs. Hurting, might you consider a visit to the lodge with us? The Taoyuan Vale is preparing for the moonlit fair, and the atmosphere is quite lively. Perhaps a walk will lift your spirits.
A walk? Oh, my heart hasn't really been in it since I lost my son. And, well, my legs don't carry me as well as they used to. Well, okay. If you think it might help find the answers, then perhaps we should try.
Teyzeciğim, yandaki arkadaşımızın bir tane robotu vardı. Üstüne binersiniz götürürüz siz ya. Bacaklarınız sorun değil. Bacakların yürümüyor falan dedi de.
What was that about?
It was just a little trick to get Mrs. Hurting to join us at the lodge. You probably sensed it after hearing her story. The promise between Mrs. Hurting and her son wasn't just about seeing his wish granted, but about finding peace in her life.
In her grief, Mrs. Hutting overlooked what her son truly wished for.
I believe he wanted her to see Jinzhou uniting to defeat the Threnodian, and the joy and security he sacrificed himself to safeguard. His wish for his mother represents not just life's simple joys, but also the courage to keep living. Though I can't say for certain, the moonlit fair in Taoyuan Vale holds the dreams of many. Perhaps there's something her son wanted her to see, a reason to embrace life.
Oh, how are you youngsters falling behind an old lady? Come on, I'm waiting on you.
This year's moon chasing festival sure is lively.
Indeed it is. Look at the crowd. Oh, so many things I've never seen before. It's quite exciting. You young folks must be thrilled with all this. Go on, enjoy yourselves. Don't mind this old lady.
Mrs. Hutting has been doing her best to stay cheerful since we arrived at Taoyuan Vale. Let's take her to see more of the fair.
Happy Moon Chasing Festival. Would you like to browse our fan paintings?
This one is exquisite. Just look at the fireworks bursting to life on the fan. I've never seen anything like it.
You have excellent taste, Mum. This fan is the creation of Ms. Judge. It's the Moon Chasing Festival from her imagination.
The fireworks seem to fly to the other side of the fan. And these capes.
Ah, yes. They represent the Midnight Rangers. A special touch from Ms. Judge. She hopes that everyone who sees this fan will feel the liveliness of the moon chasing festival and remember that the festivities are all thanks to the brave rangers. The fireworks flying to the other side are meant to share the celebration with the soldiers on the front lines. This year's fireworks display will be the biggest yet. Even the soldiers should be able to see it. You won't want to miss it.
I'd like to buy one of these fans. Ah, the Moon Shooter Gallery. My son was so good. Every year at the Moonlit Fair, it was his favorite.
Mrs. Her... Happy Moon Chasing Festival, everyone! Want to give the Moon Shooter game a try? Lots of rewards to be had.
Ha, şimdi bunları havada vurmamız lazım. Burada mı vuruyoruz? Ha, Allah'ım ya Rabbim ya. Kaç dakikadır etrafa bakıyorum. Tamam, şöyle.
Wow! Very impressive shooting skills! Here are your prizes.
These prizes?
That's right. The Moonlit Fair is about community, so we thought practical items would be more meaningful. A ranger instructor taught us how to make them. Even though he's no longer with us, his instructions and methods continue to guide us. These tools were a great help when we first joined the Rangers. We've now improved them to help even more people. Please take them, Mrs. Hurting. I'm sure Shou Yuan would want you to have them.
And you are...
You might not remember, but after Shou Yuan passed, I tried to visit you. You didn't want to see me then. I never expected we'd meet here. It's good to see you out and about. Shou Yuan always talked about how good a mother you were. By the way, some of the soldiers who served with Shou Yuan are here today. I'm sure they'd love to see you. Look, here they come.
It's an honor to finally meet you, Mrs. Heng. Shoyuan was an incredible mentor to me. I wouldn't have the nerve to wield a weapon now if it wasn't for him. I heard you were the one who taught him how to overcome his fear of the water.
So, the boy taught you everything I taught him.
Mrs. Heng?
Mrs. Hurting?
Oh, I'm still here. Please, go on. I'd love to hear more stories about Shou Yuan's time with the Rangers.
Of course, ma'am. Why don't we go have a seat over there first? We've got plenty of stories to share with you.
Before that, thank you, xiangli Yao and Rover. Just as I said before, I knew that both of you would make my wish come true. But before I visit the Moon Tree Lodge for the answer, I'd like to walk around a bit more on my own.
I trust that this answer will be right for you.
Yes. Thank you, both.
Ranger'larla birlikte gidiyor.
Do you think Mrs. Hutting understood the promise she made to her son?
We can't be sure just yet, but at least she's made a good start. Don't you agree? Now she isn't just going along with us. She's searching for the life her son wanted for her. I believe she'll uncover her answers someday and make her own choice, without relying on the Moon Tree Lodge. But it means this wasn't the wish affecting Patty either. We'll have to keep digging. At any rate, more stalls are being set up in Taoyuan Vale. Care to explore further?
Eyvah, gene görev yapacağız. Madem bu görev istiyor, hikayeyi de burada sonlandırayım. Bir sonraki bölümde gene kaldığımız yerden devam ediyoruz. Teşekkür ediyorum benimle birlikte bu seride olduğunuz için. Kendinize iyi bakın.